Residents numbering about 100 said they have lost their farmlands after Osaberima Obinikwa Kwarifa II gave out the lands. The angry residents stormed the said lands to halt a process to clear the land for a poultry farm project to begin. They have threatened to set fire to the earth-moving machines working on the land within 48 hours unless the developer leaves the phone. We're trying to get onto the line Kofi Sian, who is Joe News correspondent in the Eastern region, to give us an update on this situation. And we're going to hit the telephone line now and speak to Osaberima Obinikwa Kwarifa II, chief of the town, who is now joining us on the phone. We have on the line Apedwa, who is a leader of the group that demonstrated today, to speak to us before we go to Osaberima. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir, Apedwa.
Oh, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now, when are you going to court? You told us earlier today that you will go to court if nothing is done about this situation.
I told you this afternoon that we sent the case to court, Apedwa High Court. And the Osaberima was supposed to open appearance last week Friday. He didn't appear before court. And we are yet to apply for injunction on the land.
All right. So now tell me exactly what you want in this. I mean, we understand that there was a video which was shown to your group about the project and you agreed. So now after you have agreed, you now turn back and disagree? That's not fair.
Our problem is that we want to meet the experts, that is the white men, the Indians. What the farmers are saying is that we want to see them personally and negotiate with them. Because we have found out that the chief, on his own behalf, sold the land to them, collected a huge amount of money, went to the land commission and registered the individual farms, registered the farm in his name, calling the land as a true land, which is not true. So all of us we want to meet the Indians so that we can talk to them and we ascertain.
But why?
Whatever contract.
Apedwa, may I just stop you there? Why do you want to meet the white people involved? You are not the owners of the land, are you? I mean, you are natives.
We are the owners of the land. As I'm stating to you, my mother, that's for that matter,
but if you were owner of the land and a land which you do have title, then nobody can transfer that land into another person's ownership unless you do it. So how come that the chiefs, without you, your authorization, managed to transfer the lands into somebody's name?
Yeah, this is why we are agreeing. Because we found out that the chief has bypassed us and registered the land in his name. In his name, whereas the land does not belong to him. That's why we are protesting.
Right, so we're also told that you were giving some compensation of 50 cedis and some of you got 100 cedis. You took the money, right?
Okay. My good man, if really the land belongs to him, why should he give some of them compensation? It's a big question. If the land belongs to him, why should he then give some compensation to some of the people? It is not for him. The compensation he gave to those who are working on the farms was that they should take a token fee, and he was going to engage them with the white man so that they negotiate for the land. The indigenous farmers, they are working on the land for their daily living. So when he was about to acquire the land, he told them they should take some 1 million, that's 100 Ghana for just a token, and he was going to arrange for the white men to meet us, which he refused to do.
Right.
And with that, he has registered the land in his own name and collected money for the people, for the white men.
Right. So this money you are saying, you're telling us that this money is not exactly compensation, but it's money the chief gave to some of the people so that they will calm down and wait for a period where he will make an arrangement to meet the new owners, correct?
That's right. Exactly.
Now, so if the chief doesn't do anything about this, beyond going to court, what are you planning to do?
right now, the case is before the Cambodia High Court, and we have lawyer Pempong working at Onumpa Center, Accra.
That's
He is
right.
handling the case.
But yeah, I know, but you are in court, and yet you went on demonstration. So two things you are doing: you are in court, and then you are demonstrating. What's the basis of that?
Why we want to demonstrate this morning? The reason is that the divisional commander, to whom called this, is to stop destroying our goods until the matter is amicably settled, and he refused. And also, when we went to court, he was supposed to be opening his defense last Friday. He didn't come to the court. So we found out that if we don't stop him, he's going to destroy all our cocoa farms, our livelihood, and our food farms and all that. That's why this morning we went there on a very peaceful atmosphere. We were about just to protest that we should stop the work, and we are very stop the work.
Right. I mean, if you go there demonstrating and you are threatening to burn down the earth-moving machines, that cannot be said to be peaceful. Were you that peaceful before you started threatening that you burn down machines?
We told them they should stop working on the land till the matter is settled.
Right.
Else we use force to remove them from the land. This is what he said.
Right. I'll have you hold briefly. I have Osaberima Obinakwa Kwarifa, the second chief of Apedwa, who said he's shocked by the demonstration because himself and government officials have been in talks with the persons who lost their farms. He's now joining us on the telephone line now. Good evening, sir, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Now,
since you're cherished listeners.
Right, and viewers, we're on TV, on Joy News TV, live on Multi-TV. Now, it looks like your word against the hundreds of your subjects who demonstrated today. What are you saying about the situation before us?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thanks once again for giving me the opportunity to obviously say my side of the story. Now, this project started last year. It's a government-sponsored poultry project. And I was actually approached by Land Commission when they were looking for land for these people. So when they came to see me, we went round and they picked this area where there is this fracas going on.
Right. Osaberima, I'll have you pause briefly. I need to get some clarification before we continue. You said it's a government-sponsored poultry program. What kind of program exactly is this?
It is a poultry farm.
Right. Poultry farm.
When Minister of Agriculture, Hannah Bisu, Regional Minister, Mrs. Tonso, MC, staff from Ministry of Culture, Lands Commission, the Indian High Commissioner, the owners of the agrotech company from India, all of them came when we did forecasting.
Okay.
So, the ministry was involved, the regional minister was involved, the MC was involved, everybody was involved because of the importance of having this project.
Right. I get what you're saying, but what I needed to clarify was that, I mean, when you say government-sponsored program, is it a particular poverty reduction program that everybody knows about? Like maybe it's a program under a particular government program, like maybe GIDA or anything. What exactly is it?
It's a project that is supported by the government, although these are private investors bringing their money to establish this poultry company in Apedwa.
Right.
But as we all know, the government is now even giving a soft loan of 1 billion for a male and 1.5 billion for a woman who is interested in setting up their own poultry farm. So the poultry industry is now being held by the government because the government wants to stop importation of chicken from abroad, which is costing the nation about $500 million.
Right.
So it's an area that the government is also very interested.
Right.
So I was also very keen because it's going to bring employment to my people. So when they came to see me, I you know, beat the drum and ask all the farmers who farm there to come and meet with me. We had several meetings. They met the Indian people who are coming to run this business. Lands Commission were involved. Everything was explained to them. Video about what is going to happen was shown to them. They all agree. They all signed documents, took pictures, and everything. And based on this, 73 people signed documents that they've received compensation, which was almost 70 to 80% of all the farmers in that area.
Okay.
So based on this, the Land Commission was able to register the land for agrotech.
Right.
So it's two land. I wasn't the only person who signed. Osajifo Rachihin also authorized the lease.
All right. So
we haven't sold the land.
Let me get
leased it to the company.
Let me get a better understanding of how many people or how many of your subjects are affected by this.
Initially, the people we met who signed and received compensation was about 73.
73.
They were all very happy. We were going to offer them employment, their children, their grandchildren. Those who can work will be offered employment. So there was no problem. It's only when the company started working that other people came, that they also have land there and they haven't received any compensation. So I met them and we had meetings, and it was still very difficult. Some of them were offered 50 million and they turned it down. Are
you telling us some of them were given 5,000 cedis rather than what we are hearing now? Obriabwa on the other telephone line told us that some of the people got compensation of 50 cedis and 100 cedis.
I mean, you know, he's actually my nephew, and I think what he should have done, he should have come to see me so that we sit down and I can explain things to them. The land was leased to the company for, I think it was about 61 million a year. So the lease money was going to be distributed to the farmers every year for the next 50 years. So if you receive 3 million, you will receive 3 million every year for 50 years. And every 5 years, the rent will go up. So this was the arrangement that we reached with the farmers, and they were okay about it.
Right.
But this time, people have been paid off. It's not going to be for the next 10,
years.
20, 30 years. They have been paid off once.
So how much did they receive?
Well, some of them we've sat down with them, and some want 100 million, some want 60 million.
Right. Let's talk in terms of the Ghana cedi so that we'll get a clearer understanding. So
we're talking about 10,000.
Some got 10,000 cedis.
Or 5,000.
And some got 5,000 cedis. Right. So, but that's not what we're hearing from Obriabwa. I would like to pause you and go back to Obriabwa and get some clarification about all of this, so we'll continue our discussion. Obriabwa, if you're listening, Osabarima is saying that some of your people got more money, including some getting 10,000 and 20,000. That's 100 million old Ghana cedis and 50 million old Ghana cedis. Your reaction?
You know, he's my uncle. Actually, he's my uncle. And I respect him as the chief of my town, you know. So in fact, I don't want to even engage him on the phone. But what I'm saying is that if you say that you are giving some people 10,000 Ghana and 10,000, as he's saying, please can he produce receipt? If those people who he gave them the money, did he give them receipt? Have they got any contract or document indicating that you are giving them such amount? We can produce people. We can produce the farmers who have taken 50 Ghana, 100 Ghana, and about 150 Ghana, and thereabouts. You see, all of them, they are included today. When we went there, they were there, and they were also complaining. We only want transparency. This was all our concern. We want transparency. Ghana is telling the whole country that it's a government-sponsored program. Fine. If it's a government-sponsored program, why is the DCG and the MCG of the East Assembly Assembly is not involved? Why is not the one who is supposed to pay the money? If that is really telling us the truth, and it's a government-sponsored program, Why is that the government, the DC is not, the MC is not involved? So please, Nana should come out again.
Right, Nana, I'm sorry, but your subjects don't believe you.
No. What I said was, I don't know whether I made myself clearer. What I said was, some of them have asked for 10,000 cedis.
Right.
Some have asked for 20,000 cedis. This is what is coming from them.
So they just asked, but
yes.
You have not paid.
That's the compensation they want.
But you haven't paid them.
No, we've offered some of them initial payment of
50
5,
cedis, of 5,000. Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So let's get it straight. I mean, we want to clarify so we bring peace. You're saying that some of them are asking for as much as 10,000 and some 20,000. But Obriabo on the other line is saying some of them have actually received 50 Ghana cedis and 100 Ghana cedis, and the maximum is 150 Ghana cedis. That's absurd, considering that you are telling us that some of them have received 5,000, you said?
No. What I'm saying is that this is the recent people that have come up, that they also have land there.
Right, that's
and
right.
we're talking to them. And obviously some of them have 10, 15 acres.
Right.
And we've sat down with them and we've asked them how much they want, and they've told
right,
them. We're working with that.
So
but
I mean,
initial people that we saw, nobody received 50 cities. Nobody. All right? Whatever people receive more than that. But whatever they receive, the arrangement was that they're going to receive this money every year for the next 50 years. Unless something come up and then we can talk to these people and get some more money. But the rent that they were going to offer it was going to be distributed to the farmers. And they all agreed to that.
Yeah, but you've said that already, and you've also said that they're negotiating. You're in negotiation with them. I'm wondering why you would be negotiating with individuals.
The first group. This is the next group that has just come up.
Okay.
That they also have landed. Because when we met, these people whom we are talking to didn't take part.
Right.
And I didn't know they had land there. So we are not talking to them. I mean, I've got a meeting with the MC, regional commander, the Indian people, and myself tomorrow. And then on Monday, there's going to be the same meeting, MC, myself, state commander, and the farmers on Monday.
Right.
And then the Indian people has also offered to meet the farmers individually. They don't want to meet them as a group. To meet them individually and listen to.
But why do they want to meet them individually? I mean, they're coming in a group. A group is protesting, and you're telling us that...
We're going to meet a group on Monday.
You're meeting the group on Monday.
That's
and
right.
Then when
with
are
the
you...
MC, the Indian people, and the police commander.
And are you including
myself.
Are you including their legal representatives?
Well, I mean, we haven't... I thought this was just an informal meeting between the municipal chief executive and...
But you know, Sabarima, that you are in court. I mean, I'm told that they took the matter to the High Court. So any negotiation you have with them will have to be within the context of the law. That
No. There's the court. There's about 8 or 10 people
who are going to
that
court.
are taken to court. And we're talking about possible 80 or 90. So there's about 8 or 10 people that are taken to court. And I think because of the vacation, probably come over.
Right, that's
right. I'm giving it to my lawyer. So I'm hoping my lawyer will file. I'm meeting him next Wednesday to file my defense.
Right, but you acknowledge that although these are only 10 people, they are representing the larger interests of those who have lands there, right?
I mean, I've seen 10. So they I don't think they're representing themselves. I don't think they're representing the whole group. Because we're talking about 80 to 90 farmers.
Right.
And already 73 has been settled.
Right.
So this is about 10 who are dissatisfied, who has gone to court.
Right. Nana, I'll have you hold briefly. And Obriabo, I will take a quick response from you, and then we'll wrap up with you and continue the discussion.
Okay.
Obriabo, if you're there.
Yes, I'm on the line.
Yeah, so did you hear everything Osabarima is saying, including the fact that there are arrangements to meet individuals, to let you meet the Indian people as you have requested?
I don't have any problem with my uncle. He's my uncle, really. He's my uncle. I don't have any problem if he's prepared to meet individuals or to meet the farmers, especially my mother, Apedwa, and those who have not received any money from him. If he's very prepared to meet them, that's fine.
Right.
Also, the amount he gave to some of them, that's 1 million, the whole Ghana he gave to them, most of them are also annoying. So Nana should, be transparent. All what we need is enough to be transparent. Finish.
Right, Obiraba, you keep saying he's your uncle, and you've taken your uncle to court, so I can't get it. If you've taken your uncle to court and still you are not willing to engage him here, then I really can't get it. But we'll wrap with you, and we'll take a break shortly, and we'll be right back. This is today's big story.
Do you have a great property you want to sell or rent? Or maybe a whole selection that needs to be showcased? Lamudi.com makes it super easy. You snap, upload, and be seen by Africa and the world. Post your property on Lamudi today.
Hello, it's 9 p.m. and every weekday evenings I focus my lenses on the issues that matter to you most, the topics that get you talking, things that are nation changing and nation developing. On Wednesdays we go corporate. I talk money, how to make it and how to keep it. Friday the story is different. I get intrusive and get into the skin of my guest and find out what is this their life is all about. My name is Nana Ansakwa. Join me every weekday evenings at 9 p.m. on PM Express on the Joy News channel. You can catch a repeat of the show Tuesdays to Fridays on 9 a.m. in the morning, on Saturdays 12 noon. Alternatively, if you miss all that, log on to YouTube.
Well, let's get some human rights perspectives to this. Xavier Sosu is joining us on the telephone. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm happy to always speak to you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, and it's always a pleasure speaking to Multi TV and all your viewers.
Right, that's very fine. Now, we're looking at a situation where residents who say they are landowners, they are farmers in a particular area, are protesting against the sale of those lands to some expats, some foreign owners, new owners. They're actually new owners. Now, the arrangement we are hearing is that the chief and the elders of the town are having some form of negotiation to settle them off. The chief says some have been settled, and then the representative of the people say, no, not everybody has received compensation. Ideally, I mean, when people have lands that have been owned through their family generation, and perhaps they do not have title to these lands, what do they do when it comes to this situation where the chief as custodian can go around them and sell off these lands?
Well, thank you very much. I would say that once these people have been on this land for all these years, and have actually been custodian of these lands, have, if you like, used these lands as a source of basic livelihood, it would be completely wrong for the chiefs and custodians of this land, who are supposed to hold this land in trust of their people, to turn around and sell off this land without the consent and concurrence of these people.
Right.
Now, if you want the consent and concurrence of these people, it means that you would need to have an extended negotiation and conversation with these people until you are able to build some consensus,
right,
which would ensure that the people are adequately compensated for the loss of those lands.
Right. Now, Xavier, let me just quick. We don't have a lot of time, but when you say adequately compensated, are we looking at, for example, paying the full cost of these lands directly to those owners, or there is some law which makes it possible for the chiefs to keep some of the proceeds and pass on the rest to these owners?
Well, it all depends. If they are family lands,
right,
then those benefits are supposed to go to the respective families.
Right.
If they are stool lands, then obviously that compensation will be paid to the stool. And then the stool would then compensate the individuals that they have given license, or the individuals that they've permitted to use aspects of those lands for their livelihood. And that is how it's supposed to be. Right.
Xavier, I'll have you hold briefly. I still have Osaberima, the chief of the town, on the line. So, Osaberima, let's get a clear understanding. You told me that these are stool lands, correct?
Yeah.
So it means that technically, I mean, every proceed for the sale of this land need to come back to the stool.
Yes, please. Yeah.
And who constitutes the stool apart from yourself?
Well, the whole Ochimai land, the Alodia owner is Ochin, Osaji from Wetio for a penny. He is the overlord. So we all look after the land for him.
Okay.
So in this case, in Apedwa, myself and my elders supposed to take care of the land on behalf of Ochin.
And have you done this in full trust of the people, because you are a custodian of the land for the people themselves? Like the lawyer is saying, these are people who have lived on the lands with your permission, passing through their family generations.
This is what I'm saying. Sorry, I can't remember your name.
Fine.
But what I'm saying is that when we had this request, we beat a drum, whatever it is.
Yeah,
we called the people, and the message was all the farmers at Kokoko land should come and meet with me. And they did. And we had more than 5, 6, 7 meetings. And then arranged a follow-up meetings with the investors who came and spoke to them. The Lands Commission staff were there. The Regional Lands Commissioner was there. The other members were there. We had valuation officers. They came and met these people. So we went through all this process.
Right.
And then they have to sign a form to give Lands Commission a permission to register the land. And they needed at least 70% of signatures. And they did that and took pictures of them.
I see.
All this was done.
I see.
And then after that, I also explained to them how we were going to pay the compensation.
I see. So,
which we did.
Yeah, right. So I mean, how come your nephew is now going round to kick against you and the decision of you and the other elders?
I'm glad.
I mean, he is saying that.
I'm glad you asked him, why do you continue fighting with your uncle? I've always had problems with him on and off. I mean, I get on well with him, and now and then we get into.
Right.
You know, because what he should have is to come to me, uncle. Look, this is a situation. Can we sit down and see how we can sort it out?
Right.
Which means it will be between us. He's also a royal. It will be between me. He was mentioning Apedwa. She's my sister. And yesterday I went there with 5,000 cedis, and she refused to accept it. She's my sister.
Well, your sister refused. Your sister refused to accept it. Osaberima, we'll leave it here, but I'm sure we'll follow through this to the latter so that everybody will.
We need to. What they need to hear is that I'm going to talk to everybody involved, but all what I'm trying to do is create jobs. We haven't got anything in this area. Apedwa is a big town, and the youth are all over the place. I just want to get jobs for the young girls and the young boys, those who are growing up. Poultry farm, I've worked in poultry farm when I was in London, and I know it's a big project. If this thing is allowed, it will create, by Christmas, they're taking 200 people. By the time the factory is set up, they will be looking for 12,000 people to employ.
Right.
That's what I want.
Osabarima Obinakwa, we're very grateful for your time on
Thank
today's big story. Thank you very much. And Francis Xavier Sosu, I'm sorry we don't have a lot of time, but considering what you've heard, you think that these issues should be settled amicably within the family rather than going to court, as some of them have done?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I agree. I agree that this issue needs to be settled in the family, especially considering the extensive way they have consulted with people and the fact that they have actually signed a consent to the Land Commission. I think this should be settled.
All right, and thank you very much, sir, for your time. This is where we bring down the curtains for today's big story. We'll be right back with the interactive segment. Stay